I've learned that you can't treat every situation as a life and death matter, because you'll die a lot of times. Write that down.
I don't have a pencil.
Well, remember that then.
Okay, yeah, that's enough of that. This dude is catching a railroading unlike any we have ever seen, my guys. Like, it is really, really bad. There we go. It's really, really bad how they've kind of like wrapped R. Kelly up and took him down hard, man. As soon as Cosby got released and they had to give up that pound of flesh that they got, I mean, they sat here and convicted him on trafficking based on the girls just going in and out of state. But the question is, like, I mean, isn't there supposed to be some kind of like client list? That's see it, to me, right? It's the equivalent of hitting somebody with distribution charges on drugs despite it being their personal stash. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, you got an eighth that you go and sit there and smoke yourself, but you took it between state lines, which is a federal crime. But you also get hit with distribution charges instead of, you know what I'm saying, just possession. Like that's legally, I mean, it's morally dubious, to sit there and switch around the laws and really manipulate the precedent in order to get your convictions, which is why a lot of these cases end up going the ways that they go. Like Harvey Weinstein, I think Harvey Weinstein will be let free due to the fact that his the precedent was, saying switched around and changed during his court cases. And so once he gets that in front of a court, namely like a Supreme Court or something like that, yeah, there is a great chance that his convictions as well as R. Kelly's hears can be overturned and wiped aside because of the way that these district attorneys and these lawyers are going about getting their convictions. But the article that we're looking at today mainly exists because old girl is R. Kelly's wife is pretty bad. This Jocelyn Savage chick is, in fact, lives up to her name, and I mean physically, beauty wise, is an absolute savage. So R. Kelly, I mean, as much as I would like to be like, oh, R. Kelly, let's be real here, okay? Bruh, you brought a lot of this shit on yourself, my guy. And it's not like you sitting here really hurting for hot chicks to want to sit there and still be by your side, despite the fact that you're in prison. So my true I guess empathy for you has its limits, but I mean, shit, you bagged the bad one. You definitely all you was doing was bagging bad ones back in the day. And that's another reason why I feel the need to want to like reiterate the fact that because a lot of you weren't here when the initial tapes came out, but when the initial tapes came out, they were everywhere. They were being sold in stores. It was all over the internet. On several occasions, myself and friends gathered around and watched that shit. Like, you really think it's him? Yeah, sure. That's what I'm paying attention to right now. And if that is the case, as I've always asked people, like, yo, like, doesn't that mean we all participated in ultimately CP? But the fact that, that continuously goes under the radar is one of the reasons why all of this screams distraction / railroading to me. So let's get into the article brought to us by the New York Post. R. Kelly engaged to Jocelyn Savage. I'm not the victim. He's not the monster. Written by Aaron Kelly. And yes, you're not a victim. He's not a monster. But Miss Savage, you are definitely a savage because you are super hot. R. Kelly and one of his alleged victims, Jocelyn Savage, are engaged according to court documents obtained by the Post. Savage, 26, penned a letter to the federal judge referring to herself as Robert Kelly's fiance, asking Kelly receive a more lenient sentence for his decades-long sexual abuse of women and underage girls and boys. Wait a second, what? I've never heard of a dude. I've never heard of R. Kelly. Like, have I missed something in this? You know what, New York Post? You're a piece of shit rag. You're a piece of shit rag that carries interesting enough stories for me to cover. But real talk, you're a piece of shit rag. All right, you ain't sit there and do no voice. I'm writing this letter in support of Robert in advance of his sentencing, so I can explain to the court that I'm not a victim that the government has portrayed me to be. She continues to call him an all-around incredible person and not the monster the government has described him to be. Robert and I are deeply in love, and it breaks my heart that the government has created a narrative that I'm a victim. I'm a grown woman and can speak for myself, which is why I wanted to provide this letter to the court. But, I mean, Timothy 2:12, sweetheart, I mean, real talk, I mean, Robert should be speaking on your behalf, but, you know, it's the feminist world that we live in. This is why the Sauds and the Chinese and the Russians are all laughing at us right now. He's a great man with a great heart and deserves to be home with his loved ones who are ready to support him, she concluded. Yeah, she concluded. Yeah, I mean, sweetheart, you are a little. I'm sorry, guys. It's the website. But you are a little bit better than okay. All right. Kelly, 55, has been sentenced to 30 years in prison for his actions. Savage's parents, John Gillen, and sorry. Okay, now that's kind of John Gillen, like javelin, like John Gillen. It's fun to say, but and Timothy Savage have been publicly pleading for her daughter to leave Kelly. So who cares? She's an adult. You raised her. That's who you raised. Deal with it. She's strong, independent, can make her own choices, right? Gerald Griggs, the attorney for Savage's parents, told TMZ that they were unaware of her daughter's future union and that she never mentioned the idea of marrying Kelly. Why should she if you guys are sitting there trying to get her to leave? Griggs and said her parents strongly doubt the pair are engaged and would like to reconnect with her to hear this whole story. However, they have not talked to Savage since she left to live with Kelly. Savage's parents find it strange that she wrote a letter to the judge instead of testifying under oath, he said. The Post has contacted Griggs for comment. Some photos from the trial, okay. In 2019, Savage posted on Instagram that she would tell my story in partner up with Patreon, where I post daily chapters of my story. Okay, yeah. So it is kind of like it's a clout chase for her as well. I mean, but seriously. Like, yo, she a baddie. I mean, I'm talking about it, so it is what it is. In her Patreon post, according to Essence, Savage acknowledged that she was manipulated by Kelly. She discussed meeting Kelly when she was 15 at a concert and later dropping out of college to live with him. She said Kelly would tell her, baby girl, you are going to be the next Aaliyah. However, as of Monday, her account has been removed from Patreon. Oh, no. Oh no, they can't have that. They can't have that at all because they got their pound of flesh and they have no interest in trying to free that pound of flesh. Deal is that this is a very complicated, very long route. 15 years old is I will always go back to Dave Chappelle's how old is 15 really? I mean, let's be honest. Back in the day when life expectancy was like, 20 years, like yo, you were geriatric at 15. So now here we are with 2022 and 2020 sensibilities, and some hands people are like, well, that's just a child, and on the other hand, it's like, well, a child who is supposed to be knowing and learning about the world and being prepared to embark upon this world, and so like it's very easy for young women to believe that they've been groomed and gaslit and everything else like that, and have these different tinted memories than what actually happened, and so thusly, man, I'm gonna step on out of this frying pan because I'm already well done. Guys, with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff, if you like it, toss it a like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice. You want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like are the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications. Get something from Teespring. Check me out on Odyssey as well. Links in the description. Actually, go in the description box and do damage and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? I genuinely believe that this has been a railroading of monumental proportions. And it would not surprise me. Like, nothing's gonna surprise me. But if he were, to be eventually, like, to win an appeal down the road, it would not surprise me in the absolute slightest or least. Because as a poor man, the reason why seeing Richmond get screwed over so hard kind of speaks to me is because I'm a poor man, and I know I ain't got a chance in hell if if the system also ever decides to treat me in such a manner and shit. So it really is a sensitive and individualistic topic and situation, but yeah, I think R. Kelly's catching the raw end of the deal here. But hey, you may disagree, and that, well, except for when it comes to chicks that say they claim, and I'm like, yo, I want to be wifey and shit. Like, yo, she bad. So like, yo, and that counts for something over here, guys. With that being said, we're gonna bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like it, toss it a like. Dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice. You want to get videos like this every single day. I know, but I'm working on it, all right? And speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? Yeah, like I said, he's catching a railroading just like Harvey Weinstein did, just like they've done to Bill Cosby. So if you feel differently, shit, man, that's what the comment section's for. Let me know. Get at me. Until the next one.
Your booze mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. Every breath I take without your permission raises my self-esteem.